What's going on, you guys? Ray here, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be jumping into a discussion on this new boss game mode coming to Brawl Stars. So we're going to discuss some of the things that the Brawl Stars community is debating on, some of the speculation that what this game mode actually has to offer for us. Also, we're going to be jumping into some of the misinterpretations of the game mode and some of the things that the Brawl Stars team is saying in their Reddit posts. So we're going to be jumping into that right now. Alright, you guys, jumping right into it. So the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like in the video that I posted about this already, we didn't really discuss anything about the game. It was more of an announcement video, so I really want to jump in and pick out what I really like about this game mode and things that might be coming and dynamics to the game. So for a brief overview, if you guys have been living under a rock, there is a boss in the top left corner of your screen. As you can see, it is looking awesome. So what it looks like is we're going to be going up in teams of 3, taking down this big boss. Also, as you can see, he's got an insane amount of health. Nita does as well. So the reason for this, scrolling down here, is the Brawl Star team describes that there's going to be a 400% damage and health increase across the board. Every brawler, including this new boss, is going to have this buff. So this update is somewhat getting a little bit misinterpreted. The reason they are doing the 400% damage and health increase is to make it easier for the Brawl Stars team to make balance changes and overall just make the game better. So this is going to take a little bit of getting used to the big damage and health increase. Also, there has been talk that some of the YouTube videos, being the tips videos, might be a little bit more irrelevant because we have been posting videos on these brawlers that have 800 health or 1000 health. Now, as you can see, the Nita has 4,320 health, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take a little bit of adjusting, but you guys, it's going to make the game much more fun and balanced. I know sometimes when there's a balance change that they kind of screw up on the Brawl Stars team, it gets a little bit frustrating to play with some of the brawlers. So hopefully this 400% damage and health increase across the board will make it a bit easier for the Brawl Stars team to make things a bit more balanced and fun for the rest of us to play. Alright, you guys, so next I wanted to talk about how this game mode is actually going to work. So as you can see, we're going up against one boss with 3 people on our team. So this is a little bit different compared to any of the other Brawl Star game modes. When you go into a game on any of the other game modes, you jump into a game against 3 other brawlers, or excluding Showdown because that is just a big free-for-all with 10 different brawlers. But the reason this is so different, let's jump back here so we can get a little picture. Okay, so jumping up here, as you can see, we're jumping into the queue 1 out of 3, so there's only 3 brawlers to search for. So this brings up a few questions. How is the trophy system going to work? Is it going to be that we're all going to get 5 trophies across the board if we manage to take this robot down? Or are we going to get more if we're like the last one standing? Or if we lose to this robot, how many trophies are we going to lose? It brings up a few questions. Also, there has been talk that this may be not an AI jumping into the game modes, maybe jumping into the queue, you can decide if you want to be the robot or you can go up against the robot, maybe something like that. I know that's speculation, but it's cool to talk about those types of things. It brings about really interesting discussions on Brawl Stars. So next, you guys, I want to jump in how this boss might attack. So as you can see on the screen, there's a red orb. So none of the other brawlers shoot that red orb, so it must be coming from the boss. Now there has been speculation that this red orb is really similar to Jesse's attack. So maybe we might be seeing something like Jesse's, where if it hits one brawler, it might ricochet to another one. Also, another thing to note is that it is targeting the Colt, and as you can see, the Colt is really low on HP. So maybe this thing does incredible amounts of damage, and right next to him, the bow is pretty low as well. The only one with full HP is the Nita, and I'm guessing that's because the other 2 are bots. Maybe the Nita just knows how to play against the bot, I'm not sure, but it is really cool. So another thing being discussed in the Brawl Stars community is that this boss might have a mixture of the different basic attacks, being that this attack might be Jesse's, and he might have maybe Tara's, and he might have someone else's, maybe Nita's. Now this kind of makes sense. The boss has to be really good if we're going up against with 3 different brawlers. He has to be really difficult to take down, especially if there's going to be trophies being rewarded for it. So the reason I think this makes sense is that if you take a look at any other game where there's a boss dynamic to it, normally the boss is going to have more than one attack. Because it keeps you on your toes, it makes it much more difficult to play against them. I feel like if the boss would only shoot out this red orb, it'd be pretty easy to counter and get around it. I'm kind of thinking that if you get close to him, he might have a basic attack where he's going to swing at you or something like that, where maybe this is just his ranged attack, or maybe he might have a bunch of different basic attacks that he's going to be using that kind of coalesce with the other brawler. So next, you guys, we're going to be jumping into somewhat of a speculation realm revolving around this game mode. So as you can see, the boss, if you guys haven't drawn the connection yet, it kind of looks like the Mega Knight from Clash Royale. So maybe he might have that basic attack where he hits him. I'm not sure. I really like that connection that people made. Maybe they did draw some inspiration from the design. I'm not sure. Either way, I think he looks super cool. So next, you guys, some things that have been rolling through my mind is how is this trophy system actually going to work? Now, we did touch on this a little bit previously in the video, but I feel like with a 3-man team going up against a computer AI bot, I feel like either the bot has to be incredibly difficult to take down, or it's just going to be really abused and taken advantage of for getting trophies. I feel like if the bot is really easy to take down and your team can constantly take them down, I feel like the trophies, people will just push in this game mode to get trophies, which can get abused. Now, I feel like the boss looks pretty tough. As you can see, it has a lot of health and it's damaging the Colt and the bow quite a bit. So I'm not super worried about that, but I feel like it is going to be somewhat tricky for the Brawl Stars team to get that balance if it's going to be way too overpowered or not strong enough. So another thing that's being discussed in the Brawl Stars community that I wanted to bring up is that this game mode might be more challenge based instead of getting trophies. Maybe if you take down this boss, you'll get a reward of some sort, and maybe you can only play it every few weeks. I'm not sure. I feel like if the game mode is too easy, I feel like the balancing, like I said before, might be a little bit difficult. So if it is too hard, too easy, maybe we'll see like a challenge. Maybe if you take them down with your team, you'll get 10 gems. Maybe if you're like the last one standing, you'll get a few hundred coins. I'm not sure, but I feel like that's a cool thing that's being discussed in the Brawl Stars community right now, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. I feel like it'd make it a little bit easier for the free-to-play brawlers to get more coins, more gems, more brawlers. So I really like that. I really like that discussion. It's really pumping me up. So yeah, you guys, I just wanted to touch that is all speculation. It's not actually announced coming to the game, but it is being discussed in the Brawl Stars community, and I'm really liking the ideas that everyone's bringing up. Now, some things that you can expect to come out with this game mode is a new set of balance changes. I feel like some of the brawlers need some balancing. The lobbers are really good right now. Some other brawlers need some buffing, like I feel like Nita needs a buff. Maybe Mortis, maybe a little bit, but that might be just my opinion. I'm not sure, but there needs to be some balancing, and I feel like with this 400% damage increase, they're going to be able to get it spot on, especially with these new brawlers coming as well. We have a silhouette, a new brawler has been announced, but we don't know exactly what it is. Knowing that new brawlers are coming, it's really hard for new brawlers when they first enter the game to be completely balanced, so I feel like this 400% damage and health increase will definitely help with that. So I'm really pumped to see the new balance changes. So yeah, you guys, I'm really pumped about the balance changes. I'm excited to see who's going to be the new OP brawler and who's going to be at the very bottom, like I feel like Nita is right now. She definitely needs a buff. So another thing that I'm super pumped about this game mode coming out is the team strategies that will be revolving around this game mode. I feel like that is one of the coolest things that we see is new different compositions coming out. Maybe it's like a crow and the 2 lobbers, things like that. But I am really excited to see what brawlers and what team competition is actually going to work up against this bot. I feel like some of the longer range brawlers might have an easier time being able to pick off shots. I'm not sure. Maybe a brawler like Mortis might have a little bit more difficult a time, or Primo, because you have to get right up in his face, but you might need that on your team for the distraction. I'm not sure. It's just really fun to think about, but that is the fun in it. So yeah, you guys, I hope you are super pumped for this game mode to come out. I know I am. I cannot wait to see what this does to Brawl Stars. It's going to be really fun. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. It really help me out. Also, comment below. I want to hear everything you guys have to think about this game mode. Whether or not he's going to have all the basic attacks, whether or not he's going to be super OP, whether or not the trophy system is going to be a little bit different, I'm not sure. So yeah, you guys, with that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video.